Personnel actions. Board.
Thank you, Commissioner. We have 4 personnel actions. The first is Quentin Reichard, full-time correctional officer relief at the prison. John Bliss, a full-time correctional officer relief at the prison. And Kylie DeWitt, also a full-time correctional officer relief at the prison, along with Ryan Higgins, a full-time resident supervisor at the pre-release center.
Okay, can I have a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, controllers, assistants, controller, deputy controllers, seconded it. Okay, yesterday we met with HR and we are pleased to see that there's down to, I believe, 5 openings. Full-time openings?
8.
8? Okay, so it's gone down drastically, and
Certainly, yes.
we appreciate everybody's efforts, the parole committee here, or parole committee, prison board committee, excuse me, and everybody that's worked diligently to get this under control. So we thank everyone's efforts, and we'll continue to fill those remaining positions. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Okay, informational highlights.
Population report shows that the prison carried an average of 158.06 males at the prison and 36.94 at the pre-release center for an average daily population of 195.03. We had a peak in the month of 207. Females, we had 26.29 at the prison and 10.26 at the pre-release center for an average daily population of 36.55 and a peak of 40. The average in-house daily population then was 231.58 with a peak in the month of 241. Males for in-home detention, there were 20.58 on average and 8.58 females. We also carried 1.03 females for the month in overcrowding transfers. The total population then in-house and with overcrowding transfers was 232.61. You can see it's up just a little over 18 inmates per day from what we were in February. So we did see an increase in the population. Not a drastic increase, but an increase in the month. The next report is the prison disciplinary report, and the disciplinary committee chaired by Deputy Warden Barnes conducted 57 hearings in the month of March. Of those 57 hearings, 53 inmates were found guilty and served disciplinary lockup time. 3 were found guilty and their lockup time was suspended, and 1 was found not guilty of the infraction. Those hearings were held on 39 separate inmates, and 12 of which had greater than 1 incident. We also had 27 informational reports in that month generated by staff. And Ryan, do you have anything you wish to add?
No.
The next informational report is the pre-release center report. For the month of March, there was an average of 5 males on work release and 2 females. There were 32 males on work crew and 9 females on work crew for a total of 37 males and 11 females. And the year-to-date average is 36 males and 8 females. Program highlights for the pre-release center: all staff completed CPR training on March 14th, 2023. That was led by Training Sergeant Joe DeFrancisco. And TASER certification class was held for new staff on March 21st, 2023. That was also led by Training Sergeant Joe DeFrancisco. The bail release program report, which follows next, indicates that in the month of March, there were 36.71 clients on average on supervised bail, 90.93 on intensive supervised bail, and 2.16 on supervised release, serving sentences for driving under suspension. That leads to an average, total average of 129.8 for the month, and that average saved 4,024 bed days at the prison. The mental health snapshot is the next report, and this snapshot was taken on April 11th. On that day, there were 274 total inmates within the prison system, 226 males and 48 females. Of those, 101 males and 5 females were under roster A with no mental health history, and that was 38.69% of the population. 49 males and 9 females were under roster B, having past mental health history but no active symptoms within the last year. That's 21.17%. 68 males and 29 females were under roster C, experiencing some form of current mental health. That's 35.4% of the population. And 8 males and 5 females were under roster D, and they were exhibiting some serious mental health issues. And that was 4.74% of the population. The inmates receiving psychotropic medications at the pre-release center, of the 33 total male inmates, 6 were receiving medication, and that's 18.18%. Of the females at the pre-release center, there were 11, 4 were receiving meds, or 36.36% of the population. And at the prison, there were 158 males total, 36 were receiving meds, 22.78%. 26 females total, and 9 were receiving medication, that's 34.62%. The total percent of inmates on meds at the pre-release center was 22.73. Total percent of inmates on meds at the prison is 24.46, and the total percent of inmates within the entire prison system was 24.12. Additional informational highlights: on March 3rd, 2023, Deputy Warden Ebner and I attended the quarterly Lycoming County CJAB meeting held at 3rd Street Plaza. On March 7th, Deputy Warden Ebner, Deputy Warden Barnes, PRC Manager Thompson, and I attended a webinar titled Leadership, Building and Preserving Team Trust, and that was provided by the Penn State Extension. On March 14th, 2023, Prison and PRC Administration met with Cost Management Plus Representative Julia Alday. The PMIC program report that we received on that date indicated that our healthcare savings for the period from September of 2022 to February of 2023 totaled $320,731.47 for outpatient services and $134,726.33 for inpatient services. On March 15th, 2023, Deputy Warden Ebner attended the Reentry Coalition meeting that was held at the James V. Brown Library. On March 21st and 22nd, Deputy Warden Ebner attended the 2023 CJAB conference that was held in State College. On March 21st, prison staff participated in TASER training. That was conducted by Training Sergeant Joe DeFrancisco. And on March 23rd, prison staff participated in CPR, AED, and first aid training. That was also conducted by Training Sergeant Joe DeFrancisco. That is all of the informational highlights that I have for this month.
Okay, thank you, Warden. We'll move on to old business, reentry program. Warden.
Good morning, guys. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the new reentry coordinator for Geo Reentry Services. It was previously Bethany Young, so I'm taking over in her. Oh, sorry. Is that better? Awesome. First time for everything. So, my name is Nick Henning. This is the first report from John Stahl, APO Deputy Chief. The program population statistics for the month was 11 sentenced, 62 APO, and 1 pretrial. Total program population as of April 5th was 74, 58 of those being male clients, 16 female clients. For GPS alcohol monitoring services, there are currently 35 active clients receiving those services. 15 of those are alcohol monitors or TAD units, 6 are GPS monitors, 12 of those are home guards, and 2 are the SL3 breathalyzers. For the juvenile overview of services, there are currently 18 active cases on geo monitors as of April 1st. For the in-prison reentry statistics, there are currently 42 active participants. There are 0 pending intakes. Since the beginning of the year, there have been 40 intakes completed by the reentry coordinator. 14 LSIR assessments completed, 40 transitional action plans started, and 75 total sessions completed. The total participants in the in-prison programming who were released since the program began this year was 23. There was a total of 13 appointments made with participants in the program, and there were 69 additional resources given. The total referrals made to the in-prison reentry program was 52. 37 of those were from the Lycoming County Prison, and 15 were from the pre-release center. Referrals in the in-prison reentry program by month was 18 for March. And then a breakdown of the totals of sentencing by referrals. There are now 11 probation violations, 6 max outs, 18 new cases, 12 domestics, 5 contempt. And reentry services March statistics. There was 72 average population per day with 13 total intakes, 11 total discharges, 4 successful completions, and for EM there was 35 adults and 18 juveniles. Any questions? Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, in-prison reentry program.
That was both.
Oh, that was both,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so our next meeting will be on May the 12th here at the Executive Plaza. Do we have any new business, public comment? Any other new business?
There's no public comments.
Yeah. You know, sometimes we've talked about the difficulty of getting behavioral health services here, and I wondered, actually Judge Butts and I were discussing this the other day. We know that PIMIC is available, but is somewhat costly. Will they bifurcate services? Will they provide behavioral health services?
Prime care.
Prime care,
yeah.
I'm sorry, not PIMIC, prime care. Would they do that? Have we ever looked?
I believe they would, yes.
Do you think you could find out from them what the cost would be? I think it's a conversation we should have maybe with the joinder and with the board, the prison board, and see what would be the cost if prime care took just one portion of it, because it seems as though it might help alleviate our difficulty in getting services in rural Pennsylvania. I know we had a conversation about this yesterday, and it's a national problem also, but it seems as though at our joinder meetings, we often have conversations about the difficulty of finding staff and so forth, and I'd be curious to know what.
I think it might have helped alleviate the problem that was resolved yesterday, having more of access to mental health services in the county prison.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it would just help us overall in terms of even, our folks who are in and out, the people coming in and out on a frequent basis.
Mhm.
Maybe some continuity. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's worth looking into.
And or somebody that could come up with a viable treatment plan that maybe in conjunction with that and bail, it could enable them to not be incarcerated, that they could be out on bail pending disposition of their case or PV or whatever.
And I believe Deputy Warden Ebner has been in contacts with the city police regarding a resurgence of the CIT program.
Yes. MHID is subcontracting that responsibility to West Branch. So Barb Vanaski's going to be responsible for that. And there are a couple of people are volunteering to be trained as trainers. And we're trying to work together with the city police to have many more people be involved. And I've spoken with the chief adult probation officer, and I think all the adult probation officers should be CIT trained too. Because if we can diffuse a situation rather than just resorting to arresting people and putting them in jail and really getting them the help that they need, that's really what we should be doing, and not bringing them into the criminal justice system.
Right.
And actually, it's probably, I don't know how many years it's been since we ran the last CIT trainings, but there are a lot of new officers who have probably come on in the interim. Certainly at the city level, I know there are, so.
It's pre-COVID. for
Right,
sure.
it was pre-COVID, right.
Yeah.
Right, it's probably been 4 or 5 years. I mean,
It's
amazing how
I think that
quick.
is across the board in law enforcement,
Yeah.
corrections.
Yeah.
There are a lot of new faces.
By the way, did we run our correctional officers through the CIT when we did all that training?
We did mental health first aid, but we
Okay.
didn't do CIT training. I think that's more geared towards what occurs to avoid incarceration.
Right,
We
right.
do something more so geared towards what happens within the facility, the mental health first aid program.
Right, how to de-escalate.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, if you could look into that, I think it would be helpful to know the prime care, because I think we kind of have always thought it's extremely expensive, but it would be helpful to know.
To know what that dollar amount is.
And what they could do. What could they do that's different from what we're doing now?
Because I think you would agree with me, Warden, that the prison has not benefited from the opportunity to have a full-time mental health person the way they did at the county prison. And that was more than just suicide screening, that was also, talking to individuals and seeing what their past history was, and even following up that when they were going to be discharged, they would have a little bit of information about them. We haven't had that in several years since that person left to go work for Penn College.
Yes, it's been about 4 years. And we do have a person in place now, but he is only there part-time.
Right.
But as a full-time position, that mental health, I believe, has struggled to fill.
Right.
That is a position that we've had in the past that definitely had benefit, there's no doubt.
So MMHID is providing a part-time position now?
Correct.
Okay, right, and that's the change from when it was full-time?
Yes.
The woman who, yeah, okay. All right, yeah, that'd be great, thanks.
Okay, anything else? We've completed our agenda, so we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
When's our next meeting?
It said May 12th.
Have a good weekend.
March 12th.
Where is
May
that?
12th.
Here.
Here? Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Rob. You have a minute?